happening, everyone? We are streaming in 1080p today. I'm trying it out. You know, the internet connection is not the most stable, but we're going to try it out. We're going to see how it works. And yeah, welcome back, everyone. First stream since yesterday. Was it yesterday that mainnet went live? Dreams came true. Fireworks went off. Shots were taken, probably. And this is only the beginning. Sort of. I don't know. It's kind of like the middle. You know, I think the beginning was getting in RH stuff, and then now it's kind of like it's here. We're getting closer. Definitely not at the end. I'll tell you that. So congrats, everyone. Congrats on that. First of all, had an amazing stream yesterday with everyone. Didn't expect it to get that many people on board, but hey, serendipity. What can I say? It just worked out, and I'm so glad to share the moment with everyone yesterday and share it with you all as well. So quite a bit to talk about. I don't know. Yeah, don't expect me to go in every direction this stream. Again, I'm doing Validator AMA, primarily focused on validator stuff. I think it's pretty interesting stuff coming out of that space, as well as the previous 15 I've done on a whole bunch of different stuff. I've been working on my validator. I've got, syncing right now like everyone else. I think there's 4,096 of the dev validators online right now. I think that's the only ones. I don't think anyone else is up yet because we still need to sync, and then you got to make your deposit and stuff. So I'm getting squared away. It's been kind of hectic. You got to be careful, everyone. Again, watch some of the last few of the previous 15 AMAs I did about what to be careful with. Make sure you set your withdrawal address correctly to the wallet you have access to. Keep your seed word safe, all that stuff. I've tried to document as much as I can. I'll start sharing the screen for a minute here, and I'll talk to chat. Try to document as much as I can on the wiki. So please, if you haven't seen it yet, go to the wiki. It has a lot of my ideas and explanations and links to more elaborate stuff as well, and a lot of cool stuff. So check that out. And what's up, Dev Huey? What's happening, man? Good to see you, man. Hey, Top Gun. Cool. Hey, let me know if you want to come on, Top Gun. I haven't checked Twitter for a minute, so I'll check back with you in a bit, though. If not, totally fine. We just didn't get to exercise your brain much the other night because we all just went full on into PulseChain launching mode. Kabash, I'm going to mow the yard. I hear you, man. I do that from time to time as well. Good to see you. Maybe you got me on headphones right now. I do that sometimes as well when I'm working outside or driving or otherwise. PM squared. What's happened? Shout out to you. The Chad of Donner Swans. Please start the stream. I'm watching. Am I autistic or just an introvert? Videos it's Hex. Yeah, I tried to get on the Hexo 24-hour stream, but I had a little bit of time this morning. I tried to hop on in the time slot, but they just kept going and things got busy, so I didn't have enough time to wait around. So I said peace out. What are the streams going on today? What are some good ones? I know Graphics has been streaming every day. I always try to tune into his stuff. He did a really cool AMA. K4K got a haircut or something today. What are some streams you all have liked? Let me know, because I was scrolling through trying to find some good stuff for me to synthesize and sort of frame a lot of my understanding as well. And that's I came across a few, but I was kind of surprised. There'll be more people streaming. I think everyone's busy. I've been super busy today. I got a lot of, just weekend stuff that I've been working on outside crypto, but it's just, I think I've been so focused, so laser focused, setting up the validator and all the keys and all the security stuff that I've been occupied with that. So anyways, I'll tell you how it's the chat, and I'll get to the pump. I think I've said before, Richard I don't think he's talked about all the pumpamentals before, and we're seeing new ones, which is super interesting. I'll pull it up and we'll discuss, but very interesting stuff. Valen, making easy money, retro trade, definitely. Man, I wouldn't endorse it either. I'm with you. I tweeted, was it yesterday or today? Probably this morning. I tweeted that I had made more hex stakes than ratio trades. So that, if you can tell where my mind's at, I'm not worried about ratio trading. I don't even I feel like it's one of those things, I don't want to trick myself into doing it and then watch. I just don't think there's a lot of return unless you can find the super deals. And I think the super deals were when everything first started. When I was on stream and I was like, oh, I think I want to get off and start trading. If you go back and watch the stream, I was like, guys, should we still be streaming or should we be trading right now? So funny enough, you're welcome, everyone. Me and everyone else on the stream sacrificed. I don't know, I think Sloth made a trade or something. Maybe Graphics did. I don't know. But we sacrificed probably the best deals you're going to get ratio trading. The only one's worth doing, perhaps. I don't know. Like I said, Balin sounds like he made some money, but I'm not risking it. I don't think it's worth mental gymnastics comparing them because we don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know. We don't know what they're going to be. We don't know what's going to be worth which. We only have guesses, and I don't like guessing with my ratios. I like my bags. So I honestly think the best move, I'm not saying I'm not going to make any moves, but I want to see the bridge. I want PulseRamp to be updated. We'll check on that in a minute too. Buckle up, buckaroos. This is going to be a fun stream. We'll probably go for about an hour or so. We got a lot of stuff to cover though. It's going to be good. So much. Twitter's been going insane. People from Ethereum are probably coming over, trying to see what we're doing over here. Hex Glenn, what's happening? Tonight sounds awesome. Yeah, we'll get into it, Truth. We'll get into it. Gas is high though. I know. I tried to do a transaction. I didn't even do it because it was going to cost like 1,300 pulse. I can't do it. I can't spend 1,300 pulse. I didn't get into this to spend the FOMO on gas fees. Like I'm not doing it. I can't do it. It wasn't that important of a trade anyways, or was it a trade? It was a contract interaction, I'll say, of some sort. It would have been, but I'm just like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not spending. It sounds like it's fraction of a penny now, but man, imagine if you got Ethereum, back when Ethereum first launched and you saw yourself, oh man, look at this new network. There's all this stuff over here. And then it was like, oh, the gas fees are so high. It's 1,300 Ethereum. And it was, at pennies at that point, or 30 cents, whatever it was when it launched. Imagine how you would feel 5 years later, 8 years later. I can't do it. I can't spend 1,000 pulse on a transaction. It better be a very, very good transaction I have to make right now. Now, I've spent a lot of money on gas fees before on Ethereum. I spent hundreds of dollars, maybe spent $1,000 before at those crazy times in the last few years because I had to get these transactions over real quick. At least I thought I did at the time. Anyways, expanded. What's happened? What's happening? Hey. Yeah, I'll check Twitter in a minute and see what's up there. Top Gun. Just reading. Not going to get to all the questions right now because I want to get into some of the things. When bridge will be available? I don't know. Let's check. Pulse ramp. So this is the thing, I've been using the DNS indicators, the certificate stuff. You guys can be catching up with that. So this website's already live. So I don't expect, I guess I should still keep an eye on it, but I don't expect to see many updates that I can catch because the website is technically live, but the bridge hasn't switched over yet. So it makes it a little harder to detect and look at indicators for, unfortunately. So it's not live right now. Oh, cool. Top Gun's on. Okay, cool, man. I'll send you a link in a minute. Let me get into a couple things. I'll send in just a minute. Oops. Well, any idea why I got less P hex than had E hex? That sounds impossible to me unless something happened during that time. So yeah, seems impossible. You should have the exact same amount. Meta volatility is insane. Not a good idea. I know. Like I said, I don't advise anyone to ratio trade. I think if we wait 24 hours and get some prices and then get some stuff to work with, and then you can see where stuff's at. Is there a fee you pay to stop being a validator? You just exit. Let's see. This for a minute. Yeah, Top Gun, if you're listening, let me go through the validator stuff. Give me like 5 or 10 minutes. Then I'll get you in here. So Yeah, let's go to withdrawals. Now, a lot of the stuff I haven't tested on mainnet, obviously, because we're just getting synced, but I have tested these on testnet. So that's why I got the warnings up here. But this should give you an idea of what's going on. So when you withdraw, I mean, other than, yeah, the gas fees, if you need to do anything there, as long as you follow the rules, you know, go to, if you're using Lighthouse and stuff, go to here, read about it. Other than that, yeah, you get to keep your stuff pretty much. So wouldn't worry about that. You just got to wind down your hardware and all that good stuff. Can you explain what bridging is? So bridging is when you take one token from one network and you use a contract and you get a copy of it over on the other network, and it's wrapped. Think about it like that. And essentially, if you want to go back and forth, then you just like unwrap it, wrap it, kind of that way. I mean, let's see if I can get a graphic up here. Ethereum. Let's do Polygon. Let's see if somebody has like a graphic. Essentially, it's I got some videos on this. We talked about it before. Crypto bridges. Need something to riff on a little bit. Basically just locks it up. Yeah, it just locks it up in the middle. Let's see. Yeah. Is this one pretty good? Yeah, 1,000 Ethereum mainnet, so minting a wrapped ETH network of those bridge. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, do you really need to know like a lot of these questions, it's like you take one coin and you get on the other side, and then you take that coin again and put it back when you need to. So I don't know. A lot of it's just, I mean, I like to know the technical details and understand it. And I've looked it up before, but honestly, I don't think there's a lot of, like, is there a specific question you have about a bridge? We can dig into that. I just think it's more useful than being like, how does this particular thing work? And I'm not coming across like an easy diagram that I can just like, oh, I can actually discuss with you. But why isn't there more material on this? This is ridiculous. Anyways, yeah, just Google it. I'm pretty sure I have some content on it too. Yeah, let me just type in RHMax, how do bridges work? Jesus Christ. I don't have to get stuck on this question either, but it's a good question. I'm just like, I'm trying to get you some value on this RHMax bridges. Profits, how do crypto bridges work? Yes. So I'm gonna drop this link in here. I think Jesse went over this. Yeah, I knew it was just Ask Jesse. So better explanation than me up here with no diagram to actually point and show you stuff. So anyways, take something from one network, you take it to another, you take it back and forth in the contract. As long as it's been audited and trustworthy and all that stuff, it'll make sure it happens. Here we go. Here's a good, hey, this is a good one. Bridge locks up original token smart contract mints version. Yeah. It wraps, mints, whatever, a version on the other side of the network. Then it can convert it back. Bridge token must be minted, burned. Yeah, that's the key part. So minted and burned, minted and burned. That's all you really need to know. You don't really need to like understand at the code level of how it works. But anyways, hopefully that helps, Mark F. Let's see. Happy PulseChain launch. Could you please explain security measures? I got a ton of security content on the channel. So if you just type RHMax security, I have a bunch of AMAs, a bunch of stuff I did with Ben Dubard as well. The last couple AMAs have been really good for as far as what you're looking for. How to move MetaMask to Trezor Ledger. I mean, that's, yeah, there's a ton of videos online about that. I'm not going to demo it here, but simpler than you think. So hardware wallets, think about them as basically 2FA. So instead of someone hacking your computer and just taking all your coins, they have to physically have the device to click the button to approve transactions and stuff. And you can generate your seed words there. So again, if your computer is hacked, you can generate them with the hardware wallet. Now, for validator part, you can So you may generate keys on a hardware wallet. You may just, if you want to use the live USB or live CD, then you can just run the live operating system, download MetaMask, generate your keys like that. The only thing so the hardware wallet is like, it's got its own operating system. It's a lot harder to hack. It's separated from your computer. So the whole idea is this: if your computer gets hacked, they could get access, depending, whenever you unlock MetaMask with your password on that, then whoever is hacking your computer, controlling your mouse, controlling your keyboard, they can do transactions. With a hardware wallet, they can't. And then if you go and generate a new seed on the computer that's hacked, well, this hacker can get that seed too. Hardware wallet, it's on the device itself. You have to read it off the device, a little screen. So it solves those problems. So just search for RHMax hardware wallet, or Ben's channel as well. He does a bunch of good stuff. How about them gas fees? Insane. And that's super pumpamental for this ecosystem. Super pumpamental. Gas fees. Yeah, we'll see. I think there'll be a lot of communities coming in. I don't think we'll be any shortage of buzz. Guys, I don't think you guys understand, really. I truly do not think you guys understand. I don't think I understand completely how big this is going to be. I think it's going to be bananas. So one more thing, if you have any validator questions, I'll go back and forth and I can talk about it as well. But basically, if you use my script to set up your validator, super easy to use. You got to know how to use Linux, know how to use computer, know how to use command line. Got to have your hardware. But once you have that, after running it, you do 3 simple steps. You generate your validator keys. You get your validator keys on your validator to import them. And once you're synced and ready to go, you activate your validator and you're good to go. And I explain all how to do it, all how to debug. Security, cloud, your own hardware, whatever. You want some hardware, go to David Feeder's validator store if you want to get some nice premium hardware over there. All the stuff has been tested. Lots of people have been using it. I'm using it myself. I'm writing these scripts. I'm writing stuff that I like to use. A whole bunch of different content, all of this stuff. You can use be your own node. You can run your own node. That's what you're doing when you're running the validator anyways. You're just also validating transactions. So you can, in MetaMask, I could tell you how to use your own RPC and do stuff. Pretty cool stuff. So again, this is number 16. So if I don't, a lot of more information in the other ones as well. All right. Let me send Top Gun a link real quick, and then I'll get into why we're going to murder Ethereum's what they pay validators right now, 10x, because I think it's super interesting what I've been seeing around here. Top Gun, you've been linked. So K4K tweeted something very cool today. Genesis validators are burning their rewards and can't sell their stakes. So Genesis validators, these are we would assume they're the dev team, right? That's the basic assumption is 4,096. That's a special number, divided by 8, all that's good stuff. These are, I believe, the dev validators, and they bootstrap the network, right? Because all of their validators, all the individual ones that are going to decentralize everything, we're syncing right now. It takes time. It takes like 3 days, around 3 days to become a validator, because it takes about 2 days to sync. I'm like halfway through right now, maybe a little bit further. And then after that, it takes within a day to be activated on the network, hopefully faster. So that's why there's only dev validators right now. They're the only ones that are going on. So the APR right now, insane, 51%. Now, of course, that's going to go down. More people are going to join the network, all this stuff. But there's more. They're burning their rewards. Let me say that again. The Genesis validators, the dev team who are bootstrapping the network, they don't want the fees. They don't want the PLS. And burning their rewards and can't sell their stake. And yeah, and when are they ever gonna like all this stuff? When are they gonna unstake? When are they gonna exit? Rich is talking about it right here. The 4,096 initial PulseChain validators have burned 33 million PLS so far. And the buy and burn, we're going to get Top Gun talking about the buy and burn too, but I just want to say the PUMPAMENTAL that nobody's talking about, that we haven't even, let me click on this link too, that was never even discussed really until the last few days when Richard was hinting about it. Validators are burning the rewards. They're sending it to the 369 burn address. Amazing. Amazing. So, guys, can we get more bullish? Can we get more bullish? Welcome to the show, Top Gun Hexadian.
Hello, Max. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. Just in time. Tell us about this buy and burn stuff. What is going on, man? What is going on? What's Richard talking about?
Oh my God, the buy and burn. We actually crossed over 5 billion already. It took 25.5 hours and 5 billion PulseX have been burned.
Where can I see that? Is that on the is it shown on the burn page?
Go to info, burn, and right up there in the corner, 5.12 now.
Wow.
Constant running total there. And currently there's a bunch of pools, probably because the pulse gas is so high. There's a bunch of pools that actually could be burnt for a bounty of some PulseX. That's just absolutely awesome. But it looks like the rumors around right now is that there's not a lot of hope for the community to get access to the buy burn button, because there's already somebody who's gotten a bot algorithm that as soon as it's profitable gas wise kind of jumps in there. So there's already a lot going on with the community. This buy and burn is just going to ramp up. And one of the other fun facts is that somebody was saying that the PulseX volume for the first 24 hours actually beat all other dexes combined. That's Uniswaps and Pancake and everything.
Insane.
And my math is based, I normally going, hey, what if we do 10% of what Uniswap's business is? And then I'm like, want to see it 100? And I'm like, oh, well, that's like 300, 400%. Oh, wow, I haven't even shown that on my math model.
Dude. It's great. So how does that? Yeah, for people aren't familiar, Top Gun has these. He doesn't like to call them moon math. You like real math, just the facts. What do you like to call them?
Well, yeah, like it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's a math model. So I pick numbers and try to see what the scenario looks like, and I can't account for every variable, but I'm trying to get an accurate picture of how things kind of look, and it kind of turns into a bit of a price prediction model by mistake. Yeah, it's not that I sit here and go, dude, it's gonna moon. I was curious. I built a model, and then the model told me, dude, it's gonna moon. And I'm like, really? Sometimes I'm like, BS. Let me find a way to tear you apart. This can't be true.
Yep, it's important. That's important to try to invalidate your own stuff, right? That's how you know if it's solid. So the buy and burn, and so have you heard about I think it was Power City was kind of trying to popularize this, like, hey, if we all get together and don't press the burn button, it'll be a bigger market buy because there'll be much more accumulated and all this stuff. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, that sounds really cool, but how in the world are you going to get people to agree to do that? There's so many people with different intentions, and how are you going to, like, why would anyone? All you need is one person not to do that, and it's over, right? So even though that was a cool idea and that could have worked even better, you just see, like, we're always just going to have bots and stuff. We're just going to have people just constantly hitting it. Like, is that, I guess, what is the case for doing that versus letting it accumulate? Like, does nobody just believe that we can ever get everyone on the same page? Is that like why it's not catching on, I guess?
Well, yeah, like, I mean, to get everybody on the same page, census is a hard proposition in the best of cases, even when you leave it to program code. So, yeah, to get everybody to agree to hold off on pushing that button is next to near impossible. Now, it'd be cool to see those buys go off and be able to see what the buy and burn is doing for price when it goes off. Like if it were only to go off once every 24 hours and just see that green candle spike up. But realistically, as this buy and burn runs, like it's just going to keep slowly pushing the price up. Like, I'm sorry we don't get one giant orgasmic candle each day, but the same amount of buy pressure, whether it's broken into 1,000 different buys or one buy at the same time, it's still like, whether it's $1,000 all at once or 1,000 different buys of $1 each, it's still causing the same effect on the price. So we still get the same effect. We just don't get to go, ooh, green candle.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
And I just remembered real quick. I just forgot to say that this, like, why 10x, like, why is this 10x? So if you go to the average Ethereum APY, if you just Google for it, it's roughly 4%, let's say. I think it's a consensus number. And right now, I mean, that's even more than 10x, let's say. So right now, we know it's going to go down and more validators and stuff like that. But right now, Ethereum node operators, Ethereum validators, if you're early on PulseChain, right now it is pretty amazing. If it's not 10x later on, it still could be 5x, 2x, 7x. We don't know yet. But yeah, I just want to try that thread up. I totally forgot to say why the 10x is even in the title right now.
No worries. Yeah, that APR is quite tempting. It'll get a lot of people racing in to validate. And although it's going to die down, I mean, when you really think about the math, we've got to get up to about 40,000 validators for that to go down to about 5.1%.
Yeah, that's so, man, I wonder how long it's going to take to get 40K. Will we even get 40? Man, I don't know. I just can't see us having that many. It's one of the, I think Ethereum has this, first mover advantage. I was listening to our friend Somi today, and it's very interesting. One of his videos, he was talking about first mover advantage, where you literally need to be 10x better for people to care about your new network. You can't be 2x better, 5x better. You got to be 10x better. And I agree with that a lot. I think there's a lot of truth in it. And I think PulseChain is that 10x better. People just need to see it over time, but it is that 10x better as far as, more. You're going to have a better chance of price performance and a better chance, faster and better products and, this whole community and all this stuff. It's going to take time, but I think that getting to the stage, I think even us getting 10K or 20K validators, I don't know, is that going to take like a couple months or so where we get to 40K? Like, that's a lot being locked up too.
Yeah, I mean, it could take years to get to 40K realistically. Like, test nets have been running for a while, getting community members to practice and get used to validating. And I think on testnet, like, it's relatively the same 4,000 base that were launched, and it got up to 5,600. So, I mean, that was 1,600 roughly community validators that I knew of that joined. I mean, if you double the number of validators, it should only cut the APR in half. So, I mean, there's not even 4,000 people that have practiced, or 4,000 validators that have practiced on the testnet. We're talking 1/3 of that. So it's going to take a while for people that, like, I mean, we're seeing people that were interested in doing it from the start. Now people have to market buy their Pulse in order. So that's 32 million per validator. I mean, if you want to see another 10,000 validators, wow, that's 320 billion Pulse that'll have to be market bought in order to be locked up just to validate.
Yeah, that's true. Market bought. I think a lot of it will be coming, and of course, if they sack for it, they can use that too. But there's going to be a lot of people. The onboard. I think I keep going back to this. I keep going back to the onboarding. The onboarding for new people into the ecosystem, or just people who miss the sack phases, I think it is the pumpamental. Like, it is the pumpamental that is being overlooked. And I don't know why it keeps popping up in my mind of like, this shit is going to go crazy. I know we've been talking about it forever. I know we've been talking about like, oh, they're going to come over and all this stuff, but there's nothing been tangible until now. We haven't had anything to hang on to.
Yeah, I felt like a teenager again, hanging out in my friend's basement playing Dungeons and Dragons. Dude, I'm totally gonna get you with my Vorpal sword. Like, it's in your head, dude. Get a grip, get a life. Well, no, it's launched now. Now it's real. Now I feel like I'm in the army playing with an actual bazooka. Like, hello, we're real here. We're live. This is a whole different level of excitement where now I can actually look at these numbers and sink my teeth into this is what is happening. It's no longer a maybe, a could, it might get changed before like, no, this is it. This is what we have to work with. And now, like, I mean, the future just keeps looking better and better. I'm really amazed by what's been going on. Like, it was funny last night how we all just got dropped with the news, and then yeah, everybody had to take off. Like, to admit my saga
Crazy.
here, like, for my excitement, after I'm talking about, yeah, my transaction's going through fine, then I got a little FOMO-y and I got one stuck. And all of a
Oh,
sudden, like, did I lock myself out of my wallet? What's going on here? And it was like 2 or 3 a.m. before I'm finally like, there we go. That's the right transaction number. There's the right gas setting. Got everything right. I'm unstuck. Brilliant. And I'm
got to be
happy.
aggressive. I've been selecting
Yeah.
aggressive every time, unless it's like insane, which it has been lately. But I don't care to pay like 2 pulls, 3 pulls, five
Well,
pulls, whatever. I ain't paying 1,000 pulls. I didn't do a transaction earlier because it was 1,000 pulls. I ain't doing it.
like, oh yeah, I get that. But like, this is where my saga is different. I missed the pulse sacrifice, right? And I won't give up
Okay.
my PulseX bags, but I had that one same token everybody had. So for me to get in and get those first transactions and get some pulse built
Yeah.
up, I was like super important. And at that point, like, honestly, I'm looking there and it's like, ooh, it's like I got $2 in for the sack. I got 20,000 pulse. That's nowhere near enough. Like, so I
Yeah.
mean, I had to keep going, and finally I'm calmed down because I'm like, all right, I got my little bag that now I feel safe on. But in the process of accumulating, I'm going, well, I'm about to buy 100,000 pulse, and yeah, that's gonna burn 500 pulse in this one transaction for gas, but it's getting burnt. It's to the cause. I need more pulse. So in that motivation, I'm like, I gotta pay this because it's the only way I'm gonna get more pulse in this process. So like at this point, I'm like, all right, I got my nice little pocket bag on my 2 little wallets, and I'm like, all right, I can now calm down. My FOMO pants can come off and go back in the closet. I can sit on my hands again.
Get your fluffy slippers on.
Yeah, not pay these
Yeah.
outrageous gas prices. Although I can't help but be excited because, I mean, this rate of burn on Pulse is also an amazing thing for price appreciation. Like, wow. I did not expect this kind of gas or this kind of burn. I'm like, the whole time everybody was, what's your price prediction on Pulse? Oh, I don't want to go there. It's going to take so long for that burn to do anything. Oh, I was wrong. I was so wrong on that one.
It's crazy. It really. I just I want to go to quick validator question. Steve and I is a little. I don't know if it's you don't know how to. I don't think the answer is if you don't know how to code, but I just want to remind people you do need to know how to use a computer. You do need to know how to use Linux and command line and a little bit of networking and how to set up hardware. If you don't feel like you have at least a basic mastery of Linux, command line, networking, ability to assemble a computer or use a cloud service, you're probably going to struggle. So please be careful. We want everyone who is willing and able to become a validator, but at the same time, you have to be careful. Like I've yesterday and today, I've had to decompress a little bit. Like I've been stressed because I'm like, I need to get to, I got to make sure withdrawal address is good. I got to make sure seed words are secure. You really have to put a lot of effort into doing it, and you're going to be stressed. You're going to be stressed generating the keys and stuff. So even, I can write all the scripts in the world. I can make it easy as possible and all that stuff. And other people, of course, in the community have been doing amazing work to help people out too. Amazon tech support, feeders doing that, validator store and scripts and stuff. But you really need to be prepared to first understand if you're capable of doing it and not assume you're going to get tech support from anyone, although we have some resources, and really understand the security side of it. And I'll try my best to explain that and talk about it and stuff too. But it's if you're not sure and you don't have the time and you don't know, then then either learn, or yeah, maybe you're just better off, you know, doing other plays, doing LP, or be careful with that. Be very careful with the LP play as well. You know, incentive token, all that stuff too. But if you just hold, that's the thing. Hold for 2 years. It sounds so simple and so cliche, but if you hold 2 years, historically speaking, good things have happened. Had a couple questions here, Top Gun. Maybe you can help us out too. Any idea when we can stake PulseX? You want to explain? You want to explain the single side staking, all that stuff that's here, stuff that's missing, like what's going on?
All right. So I'm not an expert on this by any means. I'm not KDP. I'm not Gamma on Pulse. I am not Walrus. However, these are my friends, so I get to learn from them all day. So basically with the PulseX single-sided staking, the way this is designed and set up, so we in testnet version 3 and 4, we didn't see any of the DAO functionality of the PulseX token or the single-sided staking done again, because those functions were tested in version V2B and they completely worked. So testing them again is kind of like wasting transaction space on the networks possibly. So right now we do see the pools are an available function, but have no pools listed on PulseX. So right now, yeah, if you go to the farm and go to pools, I believe that is where you'll be able to single-sided stake once it's available. And so the process for this, and I assume it's going to happen after we go to mainnet, is when new projects come to Pulse, like say this had actually launched in the 2 weeks it was going to a year and a half ago, and there's some projects that have shown up a little bit later that have run sacrifice phases to let you get involved and everything. Well, and some of the projects that have come along have even allowed free claim phases. Like maybe you sacked for PulseX, so they allocated a portion of their tokens outside of their sacrifice set just to award to sacrificers. There's some other there's tokens in the ecosystem around PulseChain that have done that. So now, had this existed, instead of rewarding the tokens to the sackers, you do that through the pool. So you submit your tokens to be rewarded to the DAO for the PulseX pool, and people with, theoretically, the way it did work was 10 million PulseX gave you a voting share in the DAO to allow you to go over and check, yeah, I think I can read code and I want to vote on this and allow this token. Or the DAO was about voting for the incentive coin. My apologies, but there was rumor it might have connections, so I might be making things up here. Just ignore the DAO on this. But when people do have tokens that they want to reward to us, instead of trying to look up the old sacrifice set now, they'll point them at the PulseX pools and create a pool where then you can come and stake to start getting an APR of this token. And probably the more people you compete with, the lower the APR will go. This is something similar to what they already do on PancakeSwap, I think.
Gotcha. Okay. And somebody's asking how long you think. I guess what are we waiting on? So, well, okay, let's back up. What are we missing? So we're missing limit orders and single-sided staking on PulseX, correct?
Yeah, we don't see a limit order function yet. We may be waiting for Oracle and price feeds before that becomes available. And the single-sided staking, we're likely waiting because that all revolves around some new company going, well, we want to build this token, whether it's a meme token or whether it's an actual useful protocol. They want a way to get customer awareness, get some people who are really good and have diamond hands to hold their stuff and maybe talk about it. Well, giving it out to PulseX sackers might be a marketing idea. So that's where we're waiting for people to come and want to give their things away on PulseX for the pools to become live.
Okay. And on the farms, so we have the LP here, and you can mint PLP. I think does that stand for PulseX Liquidity Pool Token? What it stands for? PLP.
I don't know. I would be
I'm,
making it up.
I'm gonna guess it's that PulseChain or PulseX liquidity pool token. You basically you can mint PLP, and so once you mint PLP, you can start farming it. You can I can't show everything here, but you mint it, and then you put it in the farm, and you can start earning incentive token.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's the LP portion where you can add liquidity. So
Mm-hmm.
do you earn fees on when you do incentive token? Are you earning fees after you stake the PLP basically, or farm the PLP, or do you have to? Are you only earning fees if you actually do the liquidity pool? Do you know?
So this is where, I mean, from my original understanding, and a lot of people get a little confused. I was listening in the PulseX chat on Telegram. So a couple of things here. So yeah, the when you go to provide the liquidity pool, you do get paid fees. So I mean, PulseX is taking 0.29% in fees, a little less than a third of a percent in fees from every swap. And a lot of people think that's all going to the buy and burn for some reason now. Only 21% of that, or roughly a little more than a fifth of that, is going to the buy and burn. The other four-fifths, well, three-quarters, roughly 76%, I believe, is allocated for fee providing. Like if you're providing a liquidity, so every swap that happens, three-quarters of that 0.29% goes to the LP providers. And then the last 3%, I believe it is, has no expectations. So that 76%, yes. Basically, three-quarters of all fees collected are going back to the LP providers in the forms of the tokens that happen. So if you provide a pair of Pulse and PulseX, when swap goes in one direction, you get one side of the pair. When the swap goes in the other direction, you get the other side of the pair in fees. So slowly you start collecting fees on both sides of your pair. They are not in the pool. They are separate and accumulated for you to be able to claim. And now, after you're providing an LP, as far as I was aware, the DAO, this is where the DAO does come in. If you have 10 million PulseX, you're able to add to the vote about which LPs are supposed to be being incentivized the most. So in that, now when you hear, oh, the APR for this pair of incentive token has gone up thanks to the DAO, it's to try and get the people with the money to move their assets and provide liquidity in that pair because it's struggling. So it gives the community an ability to try and guide the whales where we want liquidity here for the network. So that's the idea of that. And now the PLP, I don't know if that's a separate farm for incentive token, or if that's if the system's been changed to that, and I'm not understanding the changes. I'll admit that.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, it would be nice if we'd had some more documentation. It is like I know you can earn incentive token, but it's just kind of like, okay. I mean, like I can see the number goes up here and all that.
Yeah.
I wish there was a
So,
manual. Devs, can we get a manual?
yeah, I think it may be like you go provide your liquidity and it's earning fees one way or the other. But once you have your LP, so I think right now the DAO has voted to just incentivize only the PulseX Pulse pair. And so since that's the incentivized one, if you create a PulseX pair, once you get your technically NFT of the LP, you can come here and stake it and be like, yes, I'm participating. Give it to me. So you don't just automatically get awarded the incentive token for providing. So as other pairs become incentivized, we'll see more farms appear here likely.
Gotcha. Yeah, we are waiting for the farms, single-sided staking too, and just it's interesting to see. Let's see. I just want to go to. I really want to see some prices. I'm so excited. I think we're just getting a taste of what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to see some prices. I want to see some farms. Didn't somebody say Dex Screener had some prices earlier? But were they? So here's a question too. So we know that there's ratios.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was going to say, couldn't you figure out the price of PLS? Let's see. For example, if we do hex here, and we say 1 hex.
Mhm.
But I guess
Is
we don't
what
know what
they
p
do.
hex is. But like my brain goes to, but I know what e hex is. Can't we find out the price from that? You know, but it's like we don't know what p hex is, right?
So there is a lot of different factors here that I can kind of almost cite and quote for this. That was a whole lot at once, and I'm like, crap, where do I start? So I mean, just in these ratios, this has been pretty exciting and pretty interesting because I expected all kinds of chaos, and there has been in other pairs, but the hex pulse-x ratio has been pretty well set at 1 hex equals 100 pulse, and 1 hex equals about 350 pulse-x. Now, it's varied up and down from those, 367, but it has stayed relatively very, very close to these ratios, either below or above, like someone's almost maintaining these. Now, on the note of watching some other tokens that have had splits the same way there's stock splits that happen in Wall Street. Generally, what you see happen is that you get, when in the split, you get a drop to 50% price on each. So, I mean, we were looking at around 5-6 cent hex, and then we got our copy, and now we're looking at roughly 2 to 3 cent or 2.5 to 3 cent hex on each side. So presumably the p hex is the same, and then shortly after that they usually both go up a bit, so they're both about 60 to 70% of what they were. Total, you see a bit of price appreciation for the split. That's kind of what happens. So if we assume that 1 hex is roughly about 2 cents p hex wise, then we are saying that that 100 pulse x is roughly 2 cents right now, which is to say 1,000 is 20 cents and 10,000 is $2. And some people are like, well, I paid $1 on day one sacrifice for it. So that would be where the ratios seem to sit at the moment. But we still don't know what PulseChain will get paired at or what it'll launch at on a centralized exchange. So, I mean, we could still see if we got recognized at a 10x, like, and we get launched at 1/10 of a cent, then I mean that hex realistically won't be 2 cents. It'll be more like 10 cents at this ratio with the Pulse and PulseX. It all depends on what price Pulse gets once we get a bridge and once all these numbers go live. And another precedent where I had for this was, as much as they were failed and flopped chains because the proof of work team were just upset that they got laid off from proof of stake Ethereum. So let's launch our own chains, boys. They did not do well, but they had the exact chaos of a pre-bridge ratio trade where all of the stable coins inherently, V2 liquidities have proven that no token can go to zero. They can go almost to zero, but it's impossible to drive them to zero. But at a certain point, it costs more gas than you could hopefully retrieve from claiming your billions or trillions of these near zero tokens. But the stable coins have all headed that way. But in absence of an oracle with no actual stable coin to link, most people will just peg an automatic value. So when you got onto a centralized exchange for ETH POW example, they were going, well, it's $5 an ETH token right now. But when you got onto KyberSwap, a decentralized DEX like PulseX or like DEX Screener did with the prices, they're hopping on and they're using the stable coin that's on the system that's been abandoned, no longer pegged in any way, shape, or form, but still pegging it for their purpose to $1, and in some cases watching that go. But I don't think Dex Screener did that because all the prices were going down. There's another site which got put around. This is so much information here. What was it? PRC20 PRC20s.com, which once the bridge goes live, will start giving live price feeds, but in absence of the live price feeds, it was also using the Ethereum price feeds in the meantime and setting some fixed numbers. So I mean, it's really really a big question where Dex Screener got those numbers, whether they were trying to pull them from PulseX. But in the chaos of all the ratio trading, dollar values are just to kind of be ignored until we have a bridge, until they have value. The dollar numbers will just throw you off. Like if you've been sitting here accumulating hex, all right, well, maybe I sat there and got in when hex was back at 2 cents a few months ago. So maybe since I bought 2-cent hex and I'm looking at, oh, I can trade 100 hex for, or say 1 hex for, 100 pulse right now, 2 cents for 100 pulse. Like at that price point where I'm assuming, like, just for my copy, and heck, I still have my original, so that's more like 1 cent. It's like almost I didn't miss the sack is how I kind of felt. Like, oh, I got a little moon bag.
little, yeah.
Sorry, so that was a lot
man.
all at once. If I missed any points, I apologize. Backtrack me, make me go back by all means.
No, I think while you were talking about the PRCs, I was just getting Godwill's address so we could look and see what his stuff is going on here. So, and then on Dex Screener too. By the way, PSA everyone, do not trust anything you see here. There is no PulseChain that you can buy off the market. There is no PulseX you can buy off the market. It is not on Ethereum. Like, just don't. I wouldn't even look at this. I wouldn't even look at Dex Screener until we got until the bridge is live. I would not even look at Dex Screener. Like, I don't even. I'm going to close it right now. Don't even look at it right now. Look at it when the bridge is live.
Yeah, it's too crazy, too much risk. You click on the wrong contract and you have just signed permissions to empty your wallet. I mean,
or you start trading based on a pool that's not a freaking token, and you start, oh, I got a bunch of PulseChain, a really good deal, and it's like, no, that's not what's happened.
Yeah, no matter what happens, it's a good way to get wrecked. Like, as much knowledge as I have, I poked on Dex Screener and I went, yeah, nah, if it's not populating in PulseX, I don't care what somebody else says the ratio is. Right now, I only care what PulseX says the ratios are, and it only has 5 tokens.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool. I see the Fatty updated their site to do. They had testnet prices here, and now it's PulseChain prices. So that's going to be cool. I think all the community sites. We need PulseMarketCap.com. We need something like that. I know this is cool. I love Fatty. I just think a market cap site to bring, we can say all we want, market cap's a vanity metric, but the other 99% of people in crypto, that's what they go by. We got to speak their language too.
Yeah, that's true.
We gotta get something. Holy crap! When I saw this yesterday, I was like, no, but no one ever suspected it would happen with it. No one wanted to talk about it except me.
Yeah, no one wanted to talk about it. I totally suspected it, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, no, talk FUD, because now I, like, a long time ago, I already said my thesis. Like, even when we hit the 1.9, I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's not quite the bottom. There's gonna be a double bottom. Well, we just hit 2.2 cents yesterday. Guess what that counts as? A double bottom, basically. As in, now that all the dumpers who got to rage out and were only holding for a copy, like, why would all the big whales want to buy to know those copy holders were just going to dump? Now the copy holders have dumped. That means it's free and clear for the whales to accumulate.
I think the two camp, what I've been talking about the last couple of weeks, the two camps of people thinking Hex is going to do great. People are going to want their copies. You're going to be buying it up. It could go to 20 cents, that type. And that's complete. That narrative is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It totally could have happened. However, who won? It sounds like the other camp won, of like, dry powder is everything. Hex is not going to do well. Don't care about the copy right now. I think it's going to go down. And people wanted to have some stuff on the sidelines to pick up what they suspect to be a dump at some point at PulseChain and PulseX, which we're going to see how it plays out. Historically speaking, there's always a dump after, in all the other L1s, every coin ever. There's a launch. It does something. It either meanders or goes up or down. And at some point, when it gets too high, it's not sustainable, and that's not what the market wants it to do. a lot of times there is a dump. And I think a lot of people, at least right now, that camp seems to be winning. As you can see by the stock split, it's not even, I feel like stock split's not even that, like it's not even, because stock split, at least you get, the price goes in half, but you get more shares. It's like, yeah, we got more shares, but we don't know what the other shares are worth. And
that's why you assume they're the other half of the value. They're the other 3 cents. Like you look at that giant red candle we had, that was the stock split. Like PulseChain launched, you've got your copy, so now they're all both worth half as much, at least in most people's mindsets. So it's just, I think it's got plenty of room to take up from here. And even my time horizons are longer than most. Like a lot of people are impatient. They want Moon now. They want Lambo now. I'm okay with Moon in 2 years, 3 years. I'm okay with having the next several months to slowly DCA and accumulate for the pumps that are coming, because I fully believe in PulseX's buy and burn to crush a 10,000x in less than 3 years really easily, because that was even in my conservative math. Like it was doing it in 3 years. At the worst, when I kneecapped it, it took 5 years to get a 10,000x. Now, we don't talk about Hart's Law anywhere enough in this community. When you pair enough liquidity of PulseX to Hex on PulseChain, well, the value of PulseX is going to keep mooning up because of that buy and burn. Well, when it goes up and it's paired with Hex, well, people realize if they want to get cheaper PulseX, they buy Hex and trade it for the PulseX, hence raising the Hex price, chasing it. This brings the price of Hex up because it's another avenue to get the awesome appreciating asset of PulseX. It acts like Apple stock in an ETF, the tide that rises all boats. And then you know that the community has big fat bags of PulseX and Hex, so this will be an easy liquidity pool to provide and make large. And then people will be bridging on their eHex, and they will be pairing their wrapped eHex with pHex. And when that becomes large enough, well, now you've linked in a series of dominoes. All that value pumping into PulseX is going to help Moon Hex. So I don't care if a single other person wants to buy Hex for the rest of time. All the power to them. I will sit here and gladly DCA it while those morons give me more time. Thank you. Thank you, morons.
Delayed gratification is key. If you're new to this ecosystem, if we got almost 300 people watching, out of you, I'm going to say, maybe 2/3 or 75% have been around the ecosystem or you've been on the channel before. But if you're new, if you're in that percentage that is new, first of all, welcome. Welcome to Team Win. We like to win here. Second of all, delayed gratification. This man has written books. I'm talking about our founder, or our Lord and launcher in chief, Richard Hart. He's written books on the subject. He has preached it over and over and over. The products are based on it. Hex itself, if you wait, you get paid more. Proof of weight, right? So better version of Bitcoin. PulseChain and PulseX are just building on top of that thesis, and it's amazing. So you got to pay attention to that delayed gratification. Learn it, or you'll be paying the price. Like a lot of people who just are in here 6 months. Let me get rich. What can I do? You treat it like gambling. You'll be a gambler, and gamblers, they don't beat the house. Investors win, and we like to invest here. If you're going to do it right, do it that way. In a second, I'll talk about this, but I wanted to ask, because I want to wrap up here in maybe just 10, 15 minutes or so. I'll go a little bit longer today since Top Gun's in the house and people are buzzing right now. But I asked if anyone had any validator questions. I want to get through a couple of those since this is technically Validator AMA, although the PulseChain launch has been taken over, baby, and I'm okay with that. But I want to help people with validator stuff too, of course. Doberman, what is the current APY of being a validator? Covered that earlier. So the current, as of K4K, where can we see this actually on? Is that on Launchpad? Where do you know where to see the validator APY?
No, actually, I was kind of curious where K4K grabbed that myself.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it is on Launchpad. So 49%.
Okay.
So there you go. Man, that is amazing. 10x Ethereum right now. And looks like some validators
We
came
have
online.
500 more validators, and it only took down the APR by 2%. That's what I'm talking about. The rest of the community will come on, and we'll get around to 5,600, and we'll still be over 30%.
Dude, this is amazing. Like it's a beautiful thing. And what's impressive too, I figured there'd be some validators coming on early. I know I don't have the BPS hardware or the best bandwidth on mine. So it'll take probably, hopefully by tomorrow morning or so. I hope I'll be fully synced and I'll be able to make my deposits and stuff. Make sure you do that, by the way, new validators. Do not make your deposits until you're fully synced, because if you're not fully synced, you can't participate in the network, can't participate. If you get activated before then, you're going to get penalized and all that stuff. You don't want to lose Pulse. So don't do that unless you're feeling lucky, which I don't know why you'd be playing that game. It's not testnet anymore, boys. It's mainnet. Yeah, about 400 or 500 new validators. Wow. Decentralization has begun. Now we can say that we're getting there. That's what 10%.
10% decentralized.
10%. Hey, we just launched.
We did that in 24 hours. This within a week. We should be well over maybe 50%. No, that's going to take a while. Like 50% decentralized is going to be a hard number to get to. When will we get to 8,100 validators?
Well, I got a feeling some whales are going to be doing a few hundred, because you can be so. Again, remind everyone, one validator not necessarily equals one server. There'll be some servers that have hundreds of validators. So I've heard of people who are going to be running hundreds of validators. And unless they just came online in this batch, I think, we could see increases of, hundreds at a time of these chunks of these whales coming online who are going to be running a massive amounts. So, wow, that's sweet API. Why? I can't get over that 49%. Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Rimlick's got a question here. Do you use David's tutorial code for validator? Might do it for fun. I do not. However, he does have a script. He's been keeping it updated. I mean, it's more of commands and guides. He does a lot of videos and does a lot of amazing work. I use mine. So this is mine. I'll drop in the chat one more time in case anyone missed it. This is my guide / code repo of a whole bunch of different stuff that automates a lot of the process. So I think most of David's code is, or it's a guide / list of commands. There's still manual work involved, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But I took the route of, and he uses Docker, and a lot of people like using Docker. And there's TDS Lane, who wrote some stuff to Dip Slayer on Twitter. However, with mine, my deal is I want to automate as much as possible. So basically, you just set this up, and then you go to the after run the script section, do a few manual things as automated as I could possibly make it. Guides on how to do everything. There's reset scripts. There's use your own RPC. There's how to do it in the cloud if you want to do it in the cloud. Update scripts. How to update your IP address when you need to, and fee recipient if you want to. Do withdrawals. You can do snapshots and backups and all that stuff. So I have a ton of content here. These are the scripts I use, but there's a lot of different scripts out there. I love it. A lot of them are complimentary. We got the community going full speed on this stuff.
That's really awesome. You've been able to automate that much of it. And so you don't need Docker for your setup there.
You don't have to use it. So Docker is just containerizing the clients. What's up? I thought you said something.
Oh, I just said nice. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So Docker can basically containerize. Let me look up Docker. Let's do a 2-minute explanation of Docker. So Docker basically just lets you containerize code. So it lets you run like a little miniature operating system within Linux or whatever you're running it on. So just sort of not quite virtualization, but it puts it in a jar. Let's do David Feeder's analogy of HSIs. It puts the hex stake in a jar. It puts your little OS, your little clients, all the stuff you want to use in a little jar, and it lets you run it as a process on the computer. And it just isolation. There's a lot of benefits, but you don't have to. You can just run it. I like running mine natively. I just like it. It's just different styles. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. So I don't use Docker on mine. I just install everything on the server. I run Lighthouse and Geth, and I create a new user, run everything as that. I use system files. Heavily tested on testnet, testing now on mainnet. Other people have been running it, tell me it's been working fine, and it tells you exactly what to do afterwards. So this is my this is my contribution to the community. This is like, hey, it's a win-win because I get to use it. I'm motivated to write these things because I want to use them. I'm going to be using them throughout my validator journey. And then also I get to share with other people.
That is absolutely awesome. Cause like in my journey here, like, I mean, a lot of people say don't talk about the size of your bags and stuff, but like if you want to be a validator, you're admitting like, oh, I had 32 million pulse. Like, okay, well, my little moon bag, I got to 1 million so far. So I'm like, I'm waiting for everything to go live, and I've got to sit here and do my DCA climb and slowly see if I can make it to accumulate my 32 million. But like, I like using, can I use this with using Docker still?
No. So,
Okay.
so if you have Docker installed, it's just, so with Docker, you can just either there's like a marketplace for getting different software and OSs and different flavors and all this stuff. So think of Docker as just like this way to easily spin up, spin down infrastructure, do stuff, set up little baby computers inside your computer.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I'm going, my approach is I'm just using the full native computer. I'm just saying, hey, you have a Ubuntu Linux computer, you run these scripts, I'll set up them and they'll run as a service on the system. So it's basically a service-based approach versus a container-based approach. Both of them work. There's trade-offs here and there, but either way, it's I just prefer this. I love Docker though, but I just decided not to do the script as Docker.
No worries. Like I'm just starting to get a little more familiar with Docker because I've been playing around with Auto GTP. So it's brought up some curiosity, and I thought it was just more like accessing the memory pool, but I didn't think of it like setting up a virtual box and separating like a little OS client. So thanks for explaining that to me a little bit. Thank you.
Of course. Oh, it's super simple. Yeah, it's think of it as a baby virtual machine that's less resource intensive. It's
Nice.
kind of like that. But yeah, any other validator questions? And we'll, if not, we will wrap up on a couple here. What's up, free speech? Good to see you, man. Your streams are fire. Your videos are fire. I saw you dancing. I saw you dancing the other day when the PulseChain launched. I loved it. Okay, I don't see any more validator stuff. So we will. What do you want to wrap us up on, Top Gun? What's interesting that you've seen today, or what do you want to talk about for the next few minutes?
Well, wow. Like, I mean, everything that I've watched go down is really interesting, but seeing Richard kind of get back out there teasing people with tweets, this has just been all so exciting that I'm so amazed and happy to see all these protocols coming up and surrounding it. I mean, having the fiat protocol allowing us to see some price feeds and giving some people that are going to want to come in, like the Michael Saylors of the universe, to come short Hex, like come get wrecked. Seeing Portal X bringing 63 chains that you'll be able to swap onto PulseX with. Like, this stuff is just getting to a point where, I mean, I'm a little bit on overload, honestly. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I'm just like, hi, this is awesome.
I know it is, man. I was overwhelmed. Okay, let me walk you all through the last 24 hours. It was after the stream. I had to get off the stream. I'm like, there's so many things in my mind. I can't concentrate. Sloth is saying all these words. I keep asking, like, what are you talking about? Because I can't even function right now. I'm so like emotionally like happy, but also going all over the place. So I'm like, all right, I got to end this stream. Like, I can't, I'm not worth anything right now. I got to end the stream. I need to go do some stuff. I need to like check my bags. I need to go like all the stuff that people are doing. I can't do right now because I'm not even near my computer that does all this stuff. So afterwards, telling the wife like, hey, PulseChain this launch, she's excited, and that I'm going to be busy. I need some time, all this stuff. So about the next 3 or 4 hours, I was just, setting up all the stuff I was planning to do. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I was getting things in place. I was updating the validator script. I had it updated for mainnet within 2 hours. So I was like happy I could test it and get it just good enough to release. Yes, that was fun. Got that out, started my syncing for that, because again, that takes a couple of days. And then I went to sleep for about 7 hours. I was like, oh my God, I actually slept 7 hours. I thought I'd be up at like 3 a.m. or something, but no, I slept, so that was good. And then woke up and I just feel beat though. I wake up and I'm just like, I feel like I'm about to get on a flight. The night before a flight, a trip, things are going through your mind. I feel like that. I feel like I'm traveling. God, I feel like shit. Let me get some coffee. Let me try to relax a little bit, take a walk, all that stuff. And then, man, just throughout the day, I had a super busy day today, but I've just been listening to so many streams, all the streams that I could from, graphics and otherwise. And then I'm like, I got to stream today. Like, I don't feel great. But let me get my seed word stuff figured out. Let me get my validator keys. And then I'm going to stream. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do validator AMA. I'm going to do something. And even now I'm just like, I hope I sleep well tonight. I feel like I like to get things in a good place and then relax. I'm trying to get in a good place right now.
Excellent. So yeah, that's the last thing we should talk about. So like, there's part of me that's got this little shaking boots of like yesterday when we're streaming. Yeah, PulseChain notches. We're gonna go get a good night's sleep tonight because I'm also exhausted. I felt like crap. I'm like, I need to go to bed. And then, but I should stream. I don't think I have the will. Then you messaged, and I'm like, oh yeah, Max. I love streaming with him. Okay, let's do this. I should do this. Because yeah, I'm like feeling like, what are the chances that we just get a tweet in like 5 more minutes as we're crawling into bed and it's, oh, Bridge is live. Nah, like another night gone.
The disbelief from graphics was the funniest because he was like, wait. Like, I feel like he was almost trying to calm us down. And any other time I'd be like, yeah, tell me it's not true. And then I looked and I was like, hold on. You know what? My first thought was like, did something happen to Richard's Twitter? Did he get hacked or something? Because it says PulseX is launching. That doesn't make any sense. So I was confused at first. And SJ's like, no, scroll down. I'm like, oh my God, it's a thread. It's here. Yeah. So,
oh yeah. And we're going to get the same kind of shock with the bridge. And we were told 24 to 48 hours. We're past the 24-hour window now. So it could be next minute, but it's going to be no later than the next 20 hours from now. 1 minute to 20 hours. That's roughly when we should be getting a bridge access and some price values. So I'm going to do my best to fall asleep because it's going to feel like Christmas when I wake up, because I'm going to know even if there isn't price action then, there will be by dinner time. Oh man, like that's the next level of excitement because like I said, it seems like the ratios are almost being maintained right now between Hex, PulseX, and Pulse. So it's like the true Richard Heart ecosystem. Some benevolent whale is keeping it balanced for the people that want to slide in and out of one or the other before we get this price action. Because once we do, there'll be no maintaining of the system. There'll be no whatever. Like, it'll be a completely wild beast, totally up to the market and decentralized in its value proposition. And we're going to really see probably the FOMO for PulseChain as people are trying to get out, raging because they waited 2 years for it. And other people are getting in because they missed the sack and waited 2 years for it. And all the time, I think we're going to slowly just see PulseX kind of in the background going, tee-hee-hee, because I mean, when I had first projected all the people that missed the PulseChain sack and went, oh, let's do a 20% or 40% sell-off in the first month. Well, I was really talking about now, like during the pre-bridge, getting totally market dumped. And I mean, I haven't been tracking the transactions, but like I said, the ratio's been being maintained. So even with that kind of dump action, it's not actually hurting the price here. So we are going to see some pretty good appreciation for all of these assets over time. And I got to stop thinking about it or I'm never going to sleep again. I'm going to die of exhaustion just because I'm so excited for everyone.
Dude, it's amazing. I think everyone sleep well tonight. Don't expect to launch in the middle of the night. Or not launch. We're past launch now. Don't expect the bridge to open tonight. But yeah, Sunday could be fun day. I hope so because it's the weekend. I think that's best for onboarding. People are home, people are ready. They don't have to take off work. They don't have to be stressed. They're not losing sleep. As much as they would be maybe if they're tired, during their day jobs and stuff. So I hope it launches tomorrow and the bridge at least. And when the bridge is live, then the fun really begins. Be ready, people. Be ready. Don't FOMO. Don't do anything rash. Keep your wits about you, but enjoy it because these things only happen. These types of things, they only happen once. It's we could say that with Hex, PulseChain, there may be another sack phase, but the 2 years leading up to this stuff, I don't think we're going to get this feeling again. This is a unique feeling.
This is a euphoria. Like, I think there's a part of me that's very happy there isn't a dollar sign, because as much as I've been practical, been patient, and learned to sit on my hands, I'm new to crypto. I've been here a year, and like, I had my FOMO buy. I've had my little moments where, okay, I got to feel what those emotions are like, got out of my system. It only cost me maybe $20 of lesson learned, and it's prepped me for all this. And then still, like Marty Allen talks about, what is it, wealth shock, like sudden wealth syndrome.
Wealth syndrome.
Yeah, that's what he calls it. And I'm like, I'm not even sure, with all this mental fortification, all this time waiting for PulseChain to launch, I'm still not sure I'm ready. I'm like, I'm hoping I am, because these numbers could go up very quickly.
It's I think, oh man, tomorrow's gonna be fun. I'll probably be streaming once or twice. We'll see, maybe in the morning, and if something happens, I think if we go live tomorrow, I'm pretty sure I'll be online streaming too. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be online when it happens, but I'll be online after I see it happening, because there'll be so much. Seeing those first prices is gonna be priceless. Seeing the prices will be priceless, right? It makes sense.
It works. The first prices will be priceless. That's kind of what it right now is.
Everyone, where can people find you, man? Where can they get more of your content?
I hide. I'm a recluse. Don't bother me.
We're in 1080p. Come on.
Yeah. No, the name here, you see this on the screen? Top Gun Hexadian. There's a little bouncing ball of a finger on it now. You pick a platform, you can find that name. Twitter, Telegram, YouTube, Discord, GitHub. I'm expanding. I'm everywhere. Also, I might have a website coming that will be specifically for people to with math problems to come and post and try and get help with those stuff. So we'll see how that stuff's coming. But yeah.
Moonmath.com.
More like I'll do the math for you.com.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, aren't you an Ask Jeeves? Oh, I had to get that one in.
I don't know.
AskJeeves.com. Everybody remember that?
The website's under work in progress. It will be I'll do the math.com. It might currently be I'll do the math.com.
I'll do the math.com. Yeah. One more question here. How do we get PLS using the bridge if I have no PLS? So there was freepulse.io, but I think they're still doing testnet pulse. I'm not sure when or if they're going to do mainnet. If you have Ethereum, you'll have a little bit of pulse, although at these transaction rates, they're not working so well anymore. What else? How can you get pulse? I thought there was something else somebody mentioned today, a way to get it. Oh, somebody can send it to you if but then you're going to dox yourself to somebody. You got to be okay with that. Anything else you can think of? That's all I can think of.
There was a faucet built in with the test nets, and I was really hopeful that during the pre-bridge that it would still be available, but alas, that's not there. And freepulse.io, they've built their whole system to award dollar amounts of pulse. So they need the API with a price for pulse to go live before they can start handing out $200 worth of pulse when they don't know how many pulse tokens that is. So they are on testnet until we go bridge live. Once we do, then you should be able to start using freepulse.io. They will at least be one faucet. I've heard rumors that there's another, but I don't know the name of it.
Gotcha. And for using a bridge, if you have no PLS, so if you're bridging from Ethereum, you're gonna need some ETH on that too. Yeah, just wait till the bridge goes live. I know a lot of people are trying to figure out, how can I trade right now if I don't have pulse? So just wait till the bridge goes live in a day or two, and I think things will become much more simple. You'll be like, oh, this is how I'll do it. So, yeah. Anyways, Riff was asking about comparison between your guide feeders. Honestly, I just don't think it's that interesting to talk about. It's so feeders, it's not really a script. It's a list of commands that you type in manually, which is fine. and it's like it walks you through the process. So if you really want to get to know how command line works and how each thing works, and you want to do one at a time and all that stuff, David Feeder was the first one out with a script. He does awesome, and then he makes videos on how to use it. And he just put one out today, which is incredible. My approach is I like to automate everything. I worked in a dev environment for a long time professionally, so like for me, it's like I don't want to do the manual stuff. I want to help other people remove it. If you're interested in learning each single step, what everything means, you can use Feeder script. If you just like / go do stuff and like just give a little bit of information, that's what I made my stuff for. So it's just a different style. They're all complementary. TDS Lane, aka Dip Slayer on Twitter, he probably has the best I've seen overall. He has like a whole like GUI on the command line. You can select which client you want. It's amazing. Like all this different stuff. I like his a lot. I haven't used it, but I love his layout. And I've read about it and stuff. So anyways, everyone's making different stuff. I don't think it really matters like the big differences. It's just like, which one do you like? Do you like to do everything by yourself and just follow a list of commands? Gamma has a guide, has a list of commands. I learned a lot from his stuff in the early days too. I have automated scripts. TDS Lane has automated scripts. Yeah, it's just like, what client do you want to use? I use Lighthouse and Geth. Do you want to use different clients? Maybe use different scripts for that. You want to use Docker? My script doesn't do that, which again, it's like use Docker, doesn't it? None of that stuff matters. But anyways, hopefully that helps. Shout out to all the people building stuff and guides and videos and code in the community. This community is built for people who we're makers. We're makers, we're creators, and we're here on a mission. And again, if you're new, welcome to Team Win. That's all I got for you tonight. Thanks for joining me, Top Gun Hexadian, everyone. Smash all the buttons, and we are out.